What up, gamers? I'm Jason.
I'm Julie.
And today on Dice and Dragons, we are going to be reviewing the latest expansion for Marvel Studios Legendary, the first 10 years. So it'll probably be on that now because we've got the Infinity Saga. So really fleshing out this version of Marvel. It's the one that Julie and I have in, Legendary in our collection because it's a lot more contained and we like to collect everything. Now this is published by Upper Deck Studios, and this specific set, the one right over here, was designed by Devin Low. And now with that being said, Julie's going to tell you more about the game itself.
So this is a cooperative game for ages 14 and above. It plays in about 30 to 60 minutes.
I would say with more players, because it can go up to 5 players, it can get longer. I've played a game that's gone about 90 to 2 hours.
Sorry, I forgot to mention it's for 1 to 5 players.
Yes. Now, ages 14 and above, you can probably play this much younger because there's just a lot of comboing, so you can definitely help younger players play the game. What would you say, Julie? Probably about 7 to 10, depending on the player?
Very dependent. I'd say probably more like 9, 10.
Okay, there you go. So, on that note, we'll tell you what you're doing in this expansion. Well, it's come to the stages. It's the end of, what is that, phase 2 or phase 3 of the MCU, where you're going to be fighting Thanos and the children of Thanos. Thanos is coming to put together the Infinity Gauntlet. There will be Infinity Stones. There will be Ebony Maw, Cull Obsidian, and Proxima Midnight. I can't believe I remembered all of those names. Now you'll be fighting Ebony Maw as one of the new Mastermind villains. Of course, Thanos will be a Mastermind as well. This will be one of the most challenging sets, and you're going to have schemes based on the film. For example, Thanos wanting to destroy half of the life in the universe. That's a scheme that we're set up to take on right now. I think I'm talking enough about the set, Julie. Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I'm looking forward to fighting Thanos.
All right, let's take him on. So on that note, we're going to grab our drink. Grab our best friend and fellow Avenger. We'll take it to the table one more time. Now we're going to take a quick look at the components for Legendary Marvel Studios, the Infinity Saga. Now we're going to start with the rule insert. So we've got an explanation of the set, the higher variety of cards per hero. There's the new endgame components, sacrifice rules. So these are some of the new keywords that you're going to be getting in the set. Phasing, because you've got vision, multi-class cards, divided cards, and then Thanos and the Infinity Stones. So while this is going to play very similar to the other Legendary games, it is adding quite a few keywords to the set. Now, some of them you may be familiar with if you played other versions of Legendary. However, if you're just playing Marvel Studios, then a lot of this will be new to you. So we're going to start by taking a look at the Masterminds. So here you've got Thanos. Thanos puts +1 damage for each Infinity Stone in the city and or escape pile. He always leads the Infinity Stones in his Master Strike. The leftmost Infinity Stone in the city escapes. Then an Infinity Stone with 4 victory points enters the city, or more from your victory pile. If you didn't have any, each player gains a wound. So we've got Thanos. As you can see, he's quite strong. The next Mastermind, of course, the lesser Mastermind here is Ebony Maw, and that makes sense if you've seen the films such as Infinity War and Endgame. He will always lead the children of Thanos during the Endgame section. He has +4 damage. So the Master Strike, it is the end game this turn. Each player reveals their hand and discards their highest cost hero. It was already the end game, KO those heroes so they get knocked out. And then he has his strikes as well. Sorry, his Mastermind cards as well. So here we've got the Infinity Stone. So we've got the Mind Stone, Nebula, Stonekeeper, Thanos, the Time Stone, Soul Stone, Reality Stone, Space Stone, and the Power Stone. So you're going to have all of the stones, as well as some of the characters related to them. Now, we're not going to go through all these cards in detail because it's just going to take forever. So with the Children of Thanos, we've got Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Cull Obsidian, Order of Threshers, Chitauri Gorilla, Endless Armies of Chitauri, more Outrider dropships, and Outriders. You notice that these are all fairly strong enemies. Actually, we're going to go back and just take a look at one of the stones. So the Mind Stone gets +1 damage equal to the highest cost hero in the HQ. So that's where these are going to differ, is how the strengths of these stones. Then ambush all heroes currently in the HQ cost 2 more this turn. Then if you fight and win, you gain a hero from the HQ, which is pretty good, which should help speed things up. Now we've got the schemes, warp reality into a TV show, Avengers Infinity War, So, not quite sure if that really applies to Infinity War, but 11 Twists, the rightmost space represents a TV show from the 50s. Yeah, okay, so I like the scheme, but warp reality into a TV show really only should be from WandaVision. I get why, because it's got Wanda and Vision on it, but I don't think the scheme has any place in the set. I don't know if we're going to play it, especially for this review. So the time heist, very thematic. 11 Twists, use 4 heroes in the deck plus 4 other heroes to make the past hero deck. So we're going to have some really cool stuff in the setups. Have all the life in the universe from Endgame. And then sacrifice for the Soul Stone. So everything's thematic except the warp reality into the TV show. Now you get to see the heroes that we get. We got the odd couple, which is Wanda and Vision. So we're going to look at their hero cards and maybe 1 or 2 of their other cards. So phasing, reveal the top 5 cards of the hero deck. You may put 1 of them with an odd number of costs into your hand. You may KO 1 of them, put the rest back in any order. So then we got some of these divided cards. So you get +1 fight for each other hero with an odd number of costs you played this turn. Then science phasing, you get +2 damage for another science card played. So how those work, we're not quite sure. I haven't looked at the rules, but you can see you have a lot of divided cards because it's both of them. Then we got witchcraft, reveal the top card of your deck. If it has an odd numbered most card, draw it. 0 is even. So some pretty cool cards. So 1 for Wonder, 1 for Vision. Otherwise they're split and divided cards. Here we've got Black Panther. So his hero, you get +2 damage for each hero class you have. So Vibranium Suit, Council of War, Great Many Lives Lost. You notice he's got a lot of dual class cards, which will give him a lot more attack. So you can really boost the attack up by having a variety of cards in the deck. Next we've got Bruce Banner. And I think I have the wrong card up front. Yeah, I do. So this is the hero card. Sacrifice, gain up to 1 other hero from the KO pile, combine your deck and discard pile. Put all those cards that cost 0 into your discard pile. Shuffle the rest into a new deck. So that's the sacrifice card, and it's reverse the snap. Whereas puny weaklings, you got some Hulk, Bruce Banner, and Infinity War. Then him in the Hulkbuster armor as well. And then even we got Smart Hulk from Endgame. So a nice selection of Hulk stuff from across both films. Here we've got Captain Marvel. Her hero card, you get +1 fight for each other tech. That's not science, I can't remember, but the blue cards and or the green card, the fight, the strength cards that you play this turn. Endgame instead, you get +2 for each, so you can be really strong. So return from the stars, infused by the Tesseract, Moment of Destiny, and Drawing on Hope. So I'm happy that Captain Marvel has definitely been added to the game. And last but not least, probably one of my favorite characters in the whole MCU is Doctor Strange. So his ability, sacrifice, guess any of the top card of the villain deck and reveal it. If you guess right, draw 6 cards. That's incredibly powerful. So bind evil, reveal the top card of the villain deck. If it's a Master Strike, KO that strike and you get +3 fight. And put a card from the bystander deck on top of the villain deck. Invoke the Time Stone. Sift futures, defend dimensions, and open portals. So lots of really cool stuff. We are eager to get this to the table. So there you have it. We've taken a look at some of the cards and the components for this expansion to Legendary. Now keep it right here as Julie and I will be coming back at you with our review of this expansion. So Julie, what did you think of the Infinity Saga, the latest expansion for Legendary Marvel Studios, the first 10 years? Now it is compatible with Legendary Marvel. You might even be able to throw it in with other Legendary games, but that just wouldn't work very well.
No, so the thing I would say is it really does seem to be very thematic when it comes to the schemes. So that I enjoyed. It's very much out of the movies.
Yeah, we played 2 of the schemes. So we fought, the most thematic ones. We fought Ebony Maw. We took on Thanos, and I have to say it is very thematic to the movies. The new endgame mechanic very much feels like tensions are wrapping up. Things are getting desperate. Heroes are hitting harder. Villains are hitting harder, and I really like the way that it worked. You did mention that the schemes are very thematic. One thing that I found incredibly out of place, though, is one of the schemes that we've not played. I don't think I'm going to play. It's based on WandaVision. It sets you up in a TV show. I just don't think it has anything to do with this box. I get it. You got Wanda and Vision, and WandaVision was one of the most popular Marvel TV shows, or the most popular, but I don't think it has anything to do with Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just more content as far as I'm concerned. It's very thematic. There's more content. I think you had a major gripe about it.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that we're not getting a new henchman group. We got 2 new villain groups, which feel thematic, but if you're playing like we are with just the Marvel Studios cards, now don't criticize us. We don't want to get all the legendary content. We both like to have everything. Our Marvel Champions collection is getting crazy. Keeping it to Marvel Studios keeps it a lot more manageable. But we were there, and we made a mistake, is I decided to include the T'Chari, which are actually a villain group, so we didn't have any henchmen, which made the game a lot harder. That being said, we still came out ahead. What did you think of the new heroes, like One and Vision being together with 2 options on their cards? We had some more dual class cards, and then Captain Marvel, who's really focused on the end game.
Well, it's like I said, very thematic. I really do like these dual cards because it gives you more options. You know, so every time, and they play well off each other, obviously. So that was very thematic. I really enjoyed Black Panther's cards. I got them quite a few times.
I don't know if I have any right in front of me, but he has a lot of the dual class cards, which I found to be very strong. Well, I don't have any of his, but for example, you can see this one with Captain Marvel. I don't think we really had too many Black Panther cards this game. And the dual class cards, especially
here. So he often has tech and leadership, I think it's the red.
I don't remember exactly what the different rules are. Doesn't really matter, but they work well together, and the more multi-class cards you have, the more they seem to steamroll and get more and more powerful.
So, I mean, all in all, I really enjoyed it. We know this game very well. It's one of our favorites. It definitely plays well under the hour. So, you know, I have no real complaints. You have a little gripe. I really enjoyed it. I think if you like Legendary and you like Marvel, this is definitely a nice expansion. Thanos hits hard. There's a lot of repercussions, I guess you'd say. The one we played before, I thought with the if any villains escaped, it really hurt. It was also
very challenging, which was our own fault because we didn't have any henchmen. But just to talk a little bit about the enemies, you get Ebony Maw, who, as Julie said, is very strong, and he gets more powerful during the end game. Thanos, because he's already incredibly powerful, does not get more powerful during the end game. Just to cover what that is, when you get to the last half of your deck, well, a certain number of cards based on the amount of players. For us, essentially, it is the last half of the deck. You're in end game, everything is harder to do. Now, when we played Thanos, we actually played the scenario where he's destroying all life in the universe. We got down to only 3 cards left in the hero deck. If the hero deck ever ran out, well, we were in trouble. So as you can see, it was very thematic and very difficult. So I think, as Julie said, and we mentioned, captures the theme, good new heroes. If you are trying to keep your set small like us and you want Marvel Studios, I think this is definitely something you want to pick up. I don't know how well it will fit in with the regular Marvel Legendary, but if you're looking for that Infinity War and Endgame experience on the tabletop, I think it's a good expansion to pick up, even if you're not getting the movie-based cards.
I'm ready to rate it.
Yeah, so am I.
So I give it a 7.5. I really enjoyed it. It's not an 8. Because it didn't have that much newness to it, but it was lots of fun and definitely a very solid expansion.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Julie. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think if we got a new henchman group, something to really just flesh out the game, because henchmen are really lacking. All the expansions so far for Marvel Studios have given you new villain groups, and it just kind of feels weird fighting Thanos with, Hydra Spies or Hammer Drones, which is why I picked the third group as the Chitauri. Apparently that was a good thing because we played this game enough, and it actually made it fairly challenging for us. So there you go, a little house rule for you.
Yeah, so on that note, I'd like to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when we have new content for you.
And take a look down below in the video description. You'll find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to see some pictures of what Julie and I have been playing on the channel, make sure to check those out. It's been a little sparse lately, but we'll get back to it at some point in the future. Also, you'll be able to see what's coming up on the channel. We will be working on Epic 7 Arise or Marvel Legendary The Matrix. Those are the 2 things we've got on deck with Artisans of Splendor. Brendan Vale and size coming up sometime before the end of the year.
You said Marvel Legendary Matrix. I think you meant
Legendary Encounters Matrix. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
Legendary, Marvel, Legendary. It kind of all meshes.
I'm like, Marvel and Matrix together, kind of blows the mind.
Well, you could actually technically do it, but I mean, you could actually mash up Legendary Encounters Matrix with X-Files, which is almost kind of goes together.
So on that note, we're going to grab our drinks.
Well, you forgot to, we're going to grab our drinks. And you forgot to mention that we're going to have videos popping up in front of us.
Okay, so in front of
videos, yes.
In front of Jason is the most recently released video, and in front of me will be one of the other Marvel Legendary reviews.
Yes, so grab your best friend and fellow superhero, fellow Avenger in this case. Remind you to keep playing games.